the farmers all worked together. Farmers would get together and harvest because it was fun and happy, and I used to feed a whole bunch of farmers when they were helping us. And then we'd go help somebody else, and that wife would feed. And it was really a wonderful time. And suddenly all this automated, a guy could go out there and do 5 man's work with his big fancy machine, or sit in a air-conditioned tractor. And it used to be a hard metal seat with nothing but a little spring like this, and then all of a sudden it was comfort. Everybody wants comfort, and they don't want to have to really work all that hard anymore. And somehow hard work never killed anybody. And a whole bunch of men doing hard work together is such a wonderful sight to see. My father, one of his stories was how down in the river meadows, all the farmers made the bedding hay together. The farmers had to figure out in September a time when the tide was out, and at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, because there was just a rock ford that went across to Creamery Row, and they would they'd pack up, all the families would go, and they'd have children's sack races and all sorts of races, and the men would have contests to see who could scythe the best. And my father always told the story of he and Uncle Todd won the scything contest in '06, and the Sidling and the Cradling contest in '07. Now the Cradling contest with a scythe with a big rack on it. So it would not only cut the grass, it would put it in a swath. And so the men wouldn't have to go and rake it in. And it was a lot harder to do cradling than it was. But they won. He and Uncle Todd won the cradling contest as well as the scything contest in '07. That went down in history. And that's when all the farmers got together, and they'd hitch as many oxen as it took to get the heavy laden wagons across the ford. And they'd always send the farmers home that were farthest away, because an oxen only walked 4 miles an hour. You couldn't get it to go slower or faster. That's the way they went. So they'd figure out everybody's, and the nearest farmer would be the last one to go, but 2 or 3 other guys would come around, and with their oxen, they got everybody out and home before 4 o'clock, hopefully. So this is the greatest example of community working together of anything I've ever heard about.